Welcome back to the DipDiv, the show where we watch tech bros turn your bad habits into an app. And then, charge you a fee for it. I'm your host, and today we're talking about prediction markets, because apparently regular sports betting just wasn't nerdy enough. So, if you've ever lost $20 betting on whether your friend will actually show up on time, congratulations, you already get the basics. Prediction markets let you bet on, real life. Will it rain tomorrow? Who wins the election? Will your favorite celebrity get canceled by Friday? They just slap it on a fancy chart and call it trading. The fans, and there are fans, they call them truth machines. Yeah, they say that putting money on the line makes people honest and reveals some kind of objective truth. Sure, and putting my money on blackjack makes me a mathematician. It's a lovely idea, but let's see how it actually works out in the real world. Okay, let's just call it what it is. This is gambling with extra steps and a LinkedIn post. You are not buying Apple stock here. You are buying a yes or a no ticket on something like, will the Fed raise rates? If you're right, hey, you win a few bucks. If you're wrong, the app keeps your money and, sends you a push notification to try again. That is not investing. That is a slot machine that just happens to, quote Nate Silver. So this brings us to the big question, right? Who actually wins here? Well, the whole thing is set up for 3 specific groups to consistently profit. And let's be crystal clear, you are not in any of them. The winner's circle is small. It's exclusive. It's made up of the insiders, who have secret information, the bots, that are just way faster than you, and the house, which always wins. First up, the insiders. We're talking about the campaign staffer who sees the internal poll numbers days early, the pharma intern who saw the FDA email before it went public. They place their bets before you even think about opening the app. You think you're being smart reading Twitter? They already cashed out. You just paid for their lunch. Second, the bots. These are computer programs run by hedge funds that read news headlines faster than you can even unlock your phone. You see breaking news, and you frantically click buy. The bot saw that same news 0.02 seconds earlier, bought up everything, and is now happily selling it back to you at a markup. You brought a gut feeling. It brought a supercomputer. You lose. And third, of course, the house, the platform itself. They take a cut every single time you trade, every time you deposit, every time you withdraw. They win whether you win or lose. They built a casino, put some graphs on the walls, and told you it's for democracy. Let me tell you, it is not for democracy. It's for their Series B funding. And the marketing, you gotta admit, is perfect. Call it gambling, and your mom starts to worry. Call it a prediction market, and suddenly you're a genius who might get a TED Talk. It's the same exact thing as betting on football with your buddies, except your buddies don't charge you a 2% fee and pretend they're saving the world. So let's move on and just completely dismantle that core truth machine claim. They love to brag about the one time they got an election right, but they conveniently never mention the 100 times they were dead wrong about everything else. And this just illustrates the point brilliantly. Back in the 2012 presidential election, a single trader intentionally lost around $7 million buying up contracts on Mitt Romney. Now, the goal wasn't to win the bet. It was to artificially inflate his odds to make the race look closer than it was. Why? To keep voter enthusiasm high and get free media coverage. The truth was literally bought for a few million bucks. We saw it again when a YouTuber running for mayor of London allegedly gamed the betting markets to make his, let's be honest, unlikely campaign seem like it had real momentum. And then journalists reported it as fact. It's not a truth machine. It's a PR tool that you can manipulate. The whole truth machine idea dies the second real money shows up on the scene. Money doesn't make people honest, it makes them lie better. You get these group chats pumping a bet, influencers hyping it, and then they dump on all of you when the price spikes. It's just meme stocks, except you don't even get a dumb t-shirt out of it. All right, quick break. If you like me explaining how you're getting played, do me a favor and hit subscribe. Leave 5 stars, or leave 1 star that says, "This hurt my feelings." I swear I'll print it out and then I'll bet on whether you'll do it again. Send this to a friend who thinks he's beating Polymarket, and another one who thinks crypto prediction markets are somehow different. Spoiler, they're not. Okay, let's get back to it. This whole ecosystem perfectly mirrors that classic gambling analogy of the sharks and the fish. The sharks are the professionals, the quants, the insiders. And the fish, well, that's you. A lot of retail guys walk into this thinking they're sharp because they watch the news or they have a good feeling about something. But really, do you really think you can outsmart the people who do this for a living?
with entire teams of PhDs and their own server farms? This is the absolute core of it. The market doesn't care if you're eventually right. It cares if you're first, fast, and big. And this isn't some skill gap you can close by reading a few more news articles. You are structurally disadvantaged from the second you log in. You're slow, you're small, and you're reading headlines from yesterday.
This whole thing is just like the online poker boom back in the early 2000s. At first, millions of amateurs, the fish, logged on just to have some fun. But then the professionals, the sharks, showed up with their bots and their methodical data-driven strategies, and pretty soon all the amateurs realized they were just donating their rent money to a server farm, and the whole ecosystem just collapsed on itself. So where does that leave us? Let's try to bring this all together with a final piece of advice that might just save you some money. Look, if you want to bet on stuff for fun, fine. It can be entertainment, I get it. But just call it what it is. Don't pretend you're doing some kind of deep research for society or contributing to some grand truth machine. You're not. You're just gambling in glasses. And this stuff has real-world consequences. Academic research actually shows that after states legalize online betting, average credit scores drop by a lot, and rates of bankruptcy and loan delinquencies go up. When millions of people wreck their finances, guess what? Society ultimately picks up the tab. So when you look at the whole system, just forget the truth machine marketing. It's a wealth transfer mechanism. It's plain and it's simple. Money flows from regular people, retail bettors, straight to the house, the bots, and the insiders. You're just the fuel for their machine.
So, what's my final advice? It's simple. Keep your cash and keep your dignity. If you really, really feel the need to bet on something, just bet your buddy $5 on pizza toppings like a normal person.
That's it. This was produced by FireflyHaku, who runs this show like a real prediction market. She bet I would be late, overconfident, and wrong, and she won every single time. Thanks for listening. See you next week.